Hey everybody, welcome to 580. You're here. I'm here. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about our course. So my name is Bill Selleck. Feel free to call me Bill. I am Director of Technology at Hillbrook School. That's where I am right now. Beautiful late afternoon, early evening. Look at what my view is. Actually, my view is just looking at my screen. But we are a K-8 school up in Los Gatos near San Jose. Been around for 83 years, and like this village house behind me is from the 50s. How cool is that? Like our students built that. I say our students, they're older than me. They were in elementary school in the 50s. Um, yeah, so we're an independent school. Before I was at Hillbrook School, and by the way, if you're ever up near San Jose, you're welcome to come visit. Um, I was teaching elementary school, second grade, kindergarten, fourth and fifth grade music in West Covina, kind of near Pasadena area. Um, so I've been doing a lot of graduate school teaching at a handful of schools, almost always ed tech, and this is my second time doing 580. This is your first time taking EDT 580, I hope. Um, so I'm gonna be just a few steps ahead of you. This is a big course. Um, Fair warning, this is, for me as an instructor, the most work-intensive course I've ever taught. And I've heard similarly from students in 580 that this is just, it's a lot. And I think if you know that going into this, that is a lot, it makes the expectations, I think, a bit more acclimated to where they should be. This is called the proposal course, often in shorthand. I've been to several hangouts and meetings and get lots of one-on-one time, lots of, pardon me, I guess coaching is kind of the right word as to what happens in this course. A lot of the other ones, it's, oh yeah, I totally get 501, and I'm just kind of off to the races. This one, I am emailing the SME, the subject matter expert, at least weekly, checking in with all kinds of questions, because this is it's a big course. There's a big deal. There's a lot of content. There's a lot of important content, and there's a lot of feedback that you need from me, and then I need from our subject matter experts. So just to give you kind of a heads up of what that kind of is. So when I say the proposal course, it's that this is paired up with 605, and so you actually don't do the research in this course. Right, this is where you decide what your topic's going to be, what your group's going to be, where you get all the permissions and paperwork you need to be able to do the course. Essentially, it's all the prep and all the planning. This is actually, I think, the most useful textbook that I've ever seen for a course. The Hendricks text is essentially just a step-by-step guide of what you're going to be doing in this course. It's kind of an intro to basic research methodology. So if this is new and scary, Hendricks text will be your best friend. And then when we get to 605, that's actually going to be the research. So the biggest thing you can do to set yourself up for success here is going to be to I guess, two things. Set the expectations that, like, you are in it now. Some courses have been more work, some have been less. This will likely be the most work you've ever done for a course. The other thing is that over in that sidebar, is it right over here? I forget if it's mirror image. Right over here, there is a folder called Capstone Resources. So if you click on that, you'll actually lose this video if you're watching inside Blackboard. If you command click on it, or PC, what's the other one? I don't know. The one next to the space bar to open it in a new tab. You can listen to me while you look at that. The two big things that are going to be super useful in particular, there's everything in Capstone Resources is gold. You're so fortunate to be in a program where you have all these resources, because often it is a kind of good luck to you thing when it comes to action research. So yay for that. The two big things are going to be the writing template. So if you open that up and you're like, what is my action research project going to be? That writing template is going to give you kind of the chunk by chunk, section by section of what it's going to be. The other thing that is going to be huge, and I'll continue to remind you of this, is an example, a sample of what the final product looks like. It's called Collaborative Capstone Project Sample 1, Heart Rate Monitors in PE. So there's a few things that I love about this. I love that this is an example for like, oh, well, in the PE sample, here's what they did. I love that it was a heterogeneous group in just about every possible way. It was not two PE teachers. It was not two teachers that even taught the same grade levels, not two people that even lived in the same state. So as we start to build groups by the end of week 2, we'll have our groups decided. You'll hopefully be able to go, oh, okay, like if this is kind of the gold standard for what student projects can be in 580 and in 605, I actually don't have to find another third grade teacher, right? Kind of try and resist that urge just to find someone that teaches what you teach. The goal is to try and find, and I'll talk more about this in weeks 1 and 2, right? People that have similar interests, possibly similar experiences, that want to kind of head down a certain path of action research. So yeah, that's what's going on. When I say groups, by the way, I should specify 2 or 3. So less than 2 is not a group. More than 3 tends to be more work than it is worth. So as you form groups, it's going to be the group of 2 or a group of 3. You're going to have a chance to meet with me. We'll talk more about that a little bit later in the week 1 video, but we don't have to meet on a particular day of the week. It just tends to be my chance to check in with you or your group or just you to find out how your group's going. And week 1 is going to be to answer questions, and we can do that via video, phone, or email, or really kind of any sort of social media if that's helpful for you for just checking with quick questions. But we do have some formal calls in weeks, I believe it's 1, 5, 6, and 8, where you can, if you want to take advantage of, pop in and hop on a call with me. So with that, I have just one more bit of introduction that I forgot to introduce, and I'm going to say just go look at the week 1 video. The last thing I want to share with you is that I'm super involved in Q. So if you have no idea what I'm doing right now with what Q, the letter Q, pause me and go to cue.org. If I'm spelling out the whole thing, I guess it's cue.org. They, depending on when you watch this, just had an amazing conference, the Fall Q Conference. Perhaps I even met some of you this past week at the Fall Q Conference. If so, it was great meeting you. If not, I really hope we get a chance to meet in person at some point. If we do meet, it will likely be during a Q conference. The big ones are Fall Q and Spring Q. Fall Q is middle of October. Spring Q is, you guessed it, in the spring. It's usually St. Patrick's Day week and a Thursday through Saturday. And that one's out in Palm Springs. Fall Q is up near Napa and American Canyon. There's many, many other ways to attend less expensive, less overwhelming conferences that Q puts on. Rockstar camps are a great one. If you have no idea what it is, just follow them on Facebook, and you're going to find some really, really cool resources. But I'm super involved with that. Presented twice at Q, so you may have even seen me if you follow Q on Facebook, which I think is currently kind of the best way. On Twitter, they're killing it as well with amazing resources. They were live streaming with Q Live, which I helped with a lot. So yeah, check out Q. And with that, welcome to EDUT 580. Click on those capstone resources, and now head over to the week 1 page and watch the week 1 video.